KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, serving Guam for 80 years. Matson and the Adai Tano program. Harley-Davidson of Guam. Visit our new showroom, now located on Route 8 in Mighty. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dedido. Always open, always local.
Ahead on primetime, a 24-year-old man is killed after an early morning crash in Tamuning. Plus, the GOP announces new leadership positions for the 35th Guam legislature. And Guam's new Mega Haga is invited to meet with President Donald Trump weeks before she takes office at Adelu.
Half a day and good evening.
A tragic start this Wednesday after a deadly crash in Tamuning claimed the life of one man. Police are now looking into how that crash occurred.
Authorities are reminding drivers to be cautious out there. The victim's name has not yet been released. His death marks the 22nd traffic-related fatality this year.
A chilling scene in Tamuning, the crash resulting in severe damage to this black sedan early Wednesday morning, killing a 24-year-old man.
It's definitely sad to hear that, no doubt. Nobody wants to wake up in the morning and see something like this and know somebody's life has been lost.
The car's windshield cracked and front end smashed in. On the ground, a shoe, hat, and cell phone is thrown from inside the car. The deadly crash happening right in front of Jeff Mindo's dive company along Chalon San Antonio.
We've had our business here for almost 10 years now, and this place, I will tell everyone, is notorious for car accidents.
Police responded to the scene near East Espiritu Street around 4:30 a.m.
Now, when our officers arrived, they were met by GFD medics who were attending to a lone occupant of a black Toyota Yaris.
The driver was unconscious and not responding. He was rushed to the Guam Memorial Hospital but didn't survive. GPD's Highway Patrol is investigating.
Based on evidence at scene and the officer's preliminary assessment, it was noted that the black Toyota Yaris was traveling southbound from Route 14 Chalon San Antonio to Tamuning when the operator of the vehicle lost control, ran off the roadway onto the oncoming northbound lane and collided with a concrete utility pole.
Roads were clearly wet Wednesday morning. Investigators have yet to determine if speed, alcohol, or drugs are possible factors in the crash. But Mindo says this stretch of road isn't safe. He hopes this tragedy becomes an eye-opener for officials to put more safety precautions in place to protect drivers.
Luckily, during this accident, my van wasn't hit, but our vans here, both my truck, my other Chevy van there, and another van that we used to have just like this here, has been totaled before due to another accident. So I understand that they're trying to fix this road, I believe sometime moving into next year, but this is a prime example that this road is truly dangerous.
This latest tragedy also has police asking drivers to be cautious.
To please, let's close off the year, with I guess minimal crashes and everything, and just be extra careful out on the roadways while we are celebrating the holiday season.
The chief medical examiner performed an autopsy on the 24-year-old victim this afternoon. His cause of death, a crushed chest and broken neck.
A Superior Court grand jury indicts the teen driver in a Jonia crash that killed two of his passengers. 19-year-old Javon Jermaine Titano was charged with 2 counts of vehicular homicide as a second-degree felony. KUAM files show GPD's Highway Patrol investigated and concluded that not only were the roads wet, but the driver was speeding, going upwards of 76 miles per hour before he lost control and crashed. 17-year-old Simon Sanchez High School seniors Josiah Bloss and Timothy Uy died from injuries sustained in that crash. Titano will answer to the charges on December 12th.
Well, a late-night police chase in central Guam. This is the scene at the end of that chase in Sinahanya. It started along Marine Corps Drive near Aston Beach Park around 11:30 p.m. last night. Officers attempted to pull over the driver of the pickup truck when he sped off. The suspect led authorities on a chase towards Aganya Heights. It ended in Sinahanya after the driver crashed at the corner of Mendiola Lane and Kale Tituhan Avenue. The driver took off on foot, leaving a minor passenger behind inside the truck. More than a handful of police cars responded to the incident. At last check, police say the search for the suspect is ongoing.
He was apparently offering a child her freedom for favors. Now a 37-year-old man is accused of inappropriately touching a 13-year-old girl known to him. Nick Adanapati Chargaloff is charged with second-degree criminal sexual conduct. Court documents state the alleged incidents occurred back in September. The victim told police the suspect would allegedly rub her groin area and on another occasion touched her lower back and butt. The suspect told police he wanted to test the victim. He told authorities he wrote the girl a note stating, quote, "I will end your grounding if you go to bed alone and wait for me to come into the room for further instructions, and don't wear shorts. Place given sticker on the door if yes," end quote. The suspect indicated to investigators that the test, quote, "went all wrong." The suspect denied the allegations but was taken into custody.
A male minor has been taken into custody in connection to an alleged sexual assault at Southern High School. This happened last week. According to Guam Police Department Sergeant Paul Tapau, the assault reportedly occurred during school hours. School principal Jim Regis tells KUAM they've met with students' parents, noting, quote, "learning comes second only to safety." DOE spokesperson Isa Baza confirms they're working with law enforcement to address the matter. Both agencies have launched investigations.
The clergy's sexual abuse lawsuits count continues to climb. Filed in the Superior Court of Guam today, former Jonya altar boy WM alleges he was sexually abused by Father George Maddock over a 2-year period when he was 9 to 11 years old. According to court documents, the priest would take the altar boys to swim at the USO beach in Pidi after Sunday masses, where he'd perform sex acts on the boy who was still learning how to swim. The plaintiff also alleges the priest made him sit on his lap while in the car, pretending to teach him how to drive. That's where the priest would also take advantage of the boy and perform sex acts, including penetration. Father George recently passed away in New York. This marks the second accusation against him.
Well, the Federal Occupational Safety and Health Administration still investigating the construction death last week of Jay Wasisang, who died after apparently being struck in the head by a backhoe at a Manila site. In a speech Wednesday for the Northern Guam Rotary Club, local Labor Department Safety Administrator Jesse Pangilinan says the accident could have been prevented if the proper safety procedures were followed.
Got two choices. I don't know what happened, but there was a backhoe and there was a forklift. Right, that's all I know. And just from that, if he was really a spotter, he needs to be away. And if he's going to go into the trench, that boom has to be away. That operator has to have the equipment controls neutralized or off. And in fact, new backhoes, just a switch, hit it, that thing's off.
He says it was the second construction-related death this year. Federal OSHA responds to serious industrial accidents, and contractors must report deaths within 8 hours and dismemberments and other severe injuries within 24 hours. Pangilinan says Guam DOL provides OSHA training and consultation. They conduct site inspections to identify hazards and can conduct on-the-spot abatement.
It's official for the GOP leadership over the legislature. Chris Barnett reports. Their leadership roles, as we reported, according to Joe San Augustine, former Senator Tina Munya Barnes is positioned to hold the speakership, with the vice speaker slot going to Talina Nelson. A personal invitation from the White House. Governor-elect Leon Guerrero received an invitation from President Donald Trump to participate in a White House event in D.C. It's being held for 17 newly elected governors from across the nation. Leon Guerrero says she appreciates the invitation, stating, quote, "Guam is strategically important to the defense of the country and for the promotion of democracy, but there are pressing federal territorial issues I want to convey to him that affect our entire community," end quote. She adds she is ready to work with the Trump administration. Leon Guerrero will head to Washington, D.C. next week for December 13th meeting, which includes a roundtable discussion with POTUS and other meetings with senior members of his administration.
Well, Chris, just in time for the holidays, the administration confirming $1 million in tax refunds will be mailed out tomorrow.
Stick around for more news here on Primetime.
You're watching KUAM.
We value relationships because when we commit,
I love you guys until you're 80, until you're 90, until you're 100, forever.
we are in it for the long run. So you can enjoy the moments that matter. Because when we commit to relationships, we never stop caring. Calvo's Select Care, health care that is always there for you. Federal employees and annuitants enroll today.
These are our islands, and this is our Laddystone. This is what we stand for and who we are. For more than 35 years, we delivered connections that matter throughout the Marianas. First, via radio link, then by fiber optic cable. We launched the region's first 4G LTE network and continue to make our network faster and stronger. Telecommunications change the way our islands interact with the world, but not the heart behind those interactions. IT&E. Explore your world.
MTO, professional janitorial services with a warm hospitality touch. MTO gives that gift year-round. Pressure wash roofs, pressure wash driveways, lawn service, home cleaning, carpet restoration, office cleaning, commercial window cleaning, floor care. When cleaning is in order, MTO has you covered. Call 647-6861 to inquire on how you can receive the maintenance you deserve.
MTO, celebrating 30 years with you, Guam.
Be merry, be bright, and make shopping all right with holiday gift cards from Chuck E. Cheese's Guam, Ruby Tuesday, and King's Restaurants. Receive special offers with every purchase for extra holiday happiness. See stores for details and have fun this season from all of us at the GFS Group.
Hafide and welcome back. A nation in mourning as former President George H.W. Bush lies in state at the U.S. Capitol. One woman with close ties to Guam reflects on the impact Bush Sr. made to provide equal access for people with disabilities. In fact, she's practicing signing his name for his funeral.
Carmen Salahi has the story.
Remembering 41.
It's like president, like that. President, good job. And then Bush, you just spell his name. President Bush, B-U-S-H.
Spending much of her childhood years here on Guam, Heather Zimmerman, a proud graduate from the GED program at the Guam Community College, is now pursuing a PhD in the nation's capital. Proficient in sign language, she was tapped to be an interpreter at Wednesday's funeral of the late President Bush Sr.
I was pretty young when President Bush was in power, but it's an honor to get to be a part of history.
History in the making. Zimmerman reflects on the legacy of the late president who in July 1990 signed a piece of legislation meant to increase equal access for Americans with disabilities.
His history is kind of controversial. Like, some people really love him and other people wish he could have done more. But he did amazing things for people with disabilities. And because of the American with Disabilities Act, a lot of people have been able to go to college, to find access in employment.
Access to equal opportunity she's eager to provide for Guam residents.
Because our island is so much about inclusivity and about cherishing each other for who they are and family, you know. And if we really want to take that heart to the next level and include this whole act of American with Disabilities Act, which applies to Guam law, and honor our values and our tradition, then why doesn't everybody learn sign language? Why don't we teach it in school?
Zimmerman stays in touch with friends and family on island, hoping that with the proper direction, Guam can be a leader in accessibility and inclusion. Reporting for Guam News Network, I'm Carmen Victoria Terlahi.
If you were driving by the Judiciary of Guam Wednesday morning, you may have noticed the American flag flying upside down. Though this typically is a signal of distress, the Judiciary confirms it was a mistake. According to the Judiciary's Director of Policy Planning and Community Relations, Shanga Matautau, it was, quote, put up erroneously and corrected immediately, end quote. This photo was viewer submitted and captured around 8 a.m.
Oops. Well, with regional headlines, here's KSPN 2 News.
Hafide Guam, here are the headlines for CNMI.
That's right, Ashley. I'm outside the Joint Field Office located in the Settlement Fund building on Capitol Hill, hosting federal and local partners during the recovery process. And we speak with Regional Administrator of FEMA, Bob Fenton of Region 9 for the latest update. Take a listen.
FEMA will be here, has been here prior to the storm, and will continue to be here during not only the repair and the restoration time frames, but also during and helping with long-term recovery, which will probably take years as we go through this. Eventually, actually, I'm going to hire permanent full-time personnel to be here all the time. We're making a lot of progress. Obviously, things have gotten significantly better from the beginning. ports are up and operational. We have tents distributed just about everywhere as I drive away. Debris is getting piled up. It's getting moved to the landfill. More trucks are coming in to move the debris faster. We are gaining rights of entry to do temporary roofing to people's houses. We're looking forward to eventually do more repairs to individuals' homes, consolidating the shelters into one now, and providing people as much funding as we can through our individual assistance program to help them with mill repairs or rental or those kind of things, to include even flying people off island to stay back in the mainland while we make repairs to their houses. We're in a lot of areas working with the whole federal government, including big DOD, but also working with our partners at the local government level, CNMI level, and the volunteers and private sector out there. So it's really one team, one fight here, working in many different areas to make things better each and every day. We will be here in the short term doing everything we're doing now, but also in the long term as we permanently build structures back that are more hardened and more resilient. And look forward to that. We have been a partner of CNMI's over many events. I've been in Region 9 for 22 years and been through a number of typhoons out in the Pacific, from Paka to Pangsangwa to Shatan to Sudalor. So we will be here and we'll continue to be a partner of CNMI's and look forward to working with them as we work through the whole community to really rebuild.
As Mr. Fenton stated, FEMA has made major strides in recovery and is already working on long-term solutions. Reporting on Capitol Hill, I'm Adriana Cotero, KSPN2 News.
For more news, visit saipantv.com. For KSPN2 News, I'm Ashley McDowell.
Students planning to study nursing at the Guam Community College will have to wait at least one more semester. According to GCC's website, they voluntarily withdrew the current Certificate in Practical Nursing program back in September. GCC is now transitioning to pursue an Associate of Science degree in Practical Nursing. Officials are working to ensure students can start the new program as early as fall 2019, though start of nursing classes requires approval from the Guam Board of Nurse Examiners.
'Tis the season for celebrations. That's why law enforcement officials are reminding residents to drive sober or get pulled over, not just this holiday season, but all year long. A proclamation signing held today in advance of the annual campaign, which is held from December 13th to the 31st. Here's Lieutenant Governor Ray Tenorio.
There will be zero tolerance DUI enforcement checkpoints, and more police officers will be put out on the roads to catch drunk and drug drivers before they hurt themselves or someone else. Remember, quote, they will see you before you see them. In 2016,
according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration's website, drunk driving takes the lives of more than 10,000 people each year.
Explaining where you live should get a lot easier. Isla Mayor's got a briefing on a new street mapping system. It replaces an antiquated system with georeferencing technology that is more accurate and efficient. Nestor Lacanto reports.
We've come a long way from the days when directions to a house were described as the first turd after the 2 coconut trees just past the bus stop. The Office of Technology has contracted local nonprofit group the Flame Tree Freedom Center to update the street mapping system. Project manager Shante Benitez.
Guam street maps were significantly outdated when we began, so they were hand-drawn as well as not to scale. House numbers were not standardized, and the process was ineffective and time-consuming.
With new technology, they can delete old roads and non-consecutive house numbers, update building footprints on maps where structures were demolished or new ones have been built. But most importantly, they will standardize street names, but still enable them to be searched on the map system by their old names.
So for example, on Route 1, we have the federal name for the route, and then we have Marine Corps Drive, which is the official name. And then on some areas on Route 1, we see Chalan Ramon Plaza, which is in Jigo. So there's 3 different names, and we call them aliases, that now when you bring up one of the house numbers, you see all of that instead of just Route 1, so that it's more accurate for emergency 911 if they need to find such places as those.
Along with emergency and law enforcement agencies, the mayors will also be trained on the new system. They'll be able to access their respective village maps to update street names, for example, and even use the system to identify potholes.
This will do it automatically for you, and you can just put in all of the information seen above here and note that the potholes are in that area. It will be pinpointed directly on that GIS map, and if This also connects to DPW users.
Then it'll be up to DPW to find the pothole and fix it. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Thanks, Ness. Sports is next, but first, a look at your island weather.
The thousands who switched to GTA's handset payment option.
Now I can get the freshest new phone at any time.
My payments are based on my finances.
No more contracts for me. It's time to get the phone I want when I want it.
With HBO, I get to choose.
Call or visit GTA today to learn more about HBO, the most customizable phone plan on island, only at GTA.
How easy is it to earn reward points using the Alpha Plus app? Here, let me show you. Simply register with the all-new Alpha Plus app and earn reward points while making purchases at your favorite stores you already shop at. Just present the app to any authorized representative to earn your points. Now that was easy. Alpha Plus, make every day a plus.
This year is rapidly coming to an end, and the big finish is now on at Cars Plus and Mighty. Get big year-end deals on a big selection of new Ram trucks with savings up to $10,500. Or save up to $5,500 on a new Chrysler Pacifica. How about a new Jeep Compass? Save up to $5,000. With financing as low as 1.99%. Plus, receive a Cars Plus Shell Value Card with every vehicle purchase. The big finish means big savings right now at Cars Plus and Mighty. Cars Plus, driven by you.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
What's up, Guam? Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports. Thanks for watching. We get the show started tonight with some girls' high school basketball semifinals as teams hit the hardwood last night at the UOG Cowboy Fieldhouse for a chance to advance to this year's title game. Check it out. Panthers get out running Katrina Davis with a pass from Tanea Henderson. Gets the layup to go for two. Kristen Silva jumps in front of the pass intended for Henderson and drives the opposite way. Henderson gives chase, but Silva was able to get the finish at the rim. Tanea pushing the ball for the Panthers. Nice move in traffic to pick up the bucket. Basket's good and the foul. Isla Kanata dribbles her way through the paint. Drawing the double team, dumps it off to Janelise Quintanilla for the easy score. The St. Paul Warriors are heading back to the title game after beating out the Guam High Panthers 69-30. Meeting the Warriors in the championship game will be the Academy Cougars, setting up a rematch of last year's title game. The Cougars defeated GW 56-49. This year's finals is set for Friday at 7 p.m. at the UOG Cowboy Fieldhouse. The Guam Rugby Club is kicking off the rugby season with the social mixed co-ed touch rugby tournament this Sunday at the Weddingale Field in Dedido. The tournament is scheduled from 10 in the morning to 5 p.m. 10-player roster max. One woman or junior player under 12 must be on the field at all times. Max 3 national men or women players per roster. Each team will also have to supply a referee if requested. Same color tops for each team. Team entries must also be submitted no later than 6 p.m. on Friday. For more info, call Ross Morrison at 688-7440. In basketball news, our boys U15 national team lost their opening game in Port Moresby, Papua New Guinea to New Zealand 131-41. Elijah Garrido led Guam with 9 points. Blaze Atta added 8. Guam will next face Samoa. Samoa is coming off a loss to Australia, 90-49. Now for your programming news on the stations of KUAM. NFL Monday, December 10th, 4 in the morning, NFL on CBS. KUAM TV 11, the New York Jets at the Buffalo Bills. Keep a lock to KUAM and switch the channel over to KUAM TV 8 at 11:15 in the morning. NFL on NBC. Sunday Night Football, the Los Angeles Rams and their high-powered offense head to Chicago to face that stingy Bears defense led by Khalil Mack.
Shell's Million Miles giveaway is back, and we're giving 100,000 United Mileage Plus miles to 10 lucky winners. So how do you make your getaway? Just use your Lucky 7 card when you fuel up with 7 gallons or more, and you're automatically entered to win. Fuel up at your nearest Shell station today and start planning your new adventure. No purchase necessary. Some conditions apply. See stores for details.
The 2018 Compacted Free Association survey is now underway. The survey will estimate the number of migrants from the Marshall Islands, Micronesia, and Palau currently residing in Guam. To create this estimate, we need to count everyone, not just migrants. If your household is selected for the survey, it is important that you participate. The Department of the Interior will use the new estimate to distribute a portion of $30 million to Guam annually for healthcare, education, and public safety programs. Our count matters.
Where can you find a burger inspired by flavors from near and far that mixes the smoky with the sass of the South? Combines the sweetness of summer with the tang of the country for savory, sizzling, unexpected flavors. Well, you can find it at McDonald's. The new Bacon Smokehouse Burger. It's the newest flavor of the signature crafted recipes by McDonald's.
It's back and bigger than ever. The big deal is going now at Triple J. Our best pricing on all new and used cars with no payments for 90 days, 1.9% financing on approved credit, and a $500 gift certificate from Kmart or the Micronesia Mall. Get thousands off for the holidays on all new Hondas, Acuras, Fords, Mazda, Lincolns, Volvos, Kias, and used cars. Now is the time to come see the largest selection of brands on Guam during Triple J's biggest promotion of the year. Stop by Triple J or get pre-approved instantly online at triplejguam.com. Trade-ins welcome. Some conditions apply. See dealer for details. Triple J. Customers first.
In holiday headlines, the doors officially opened for the Holiday Gingerbread House at the Hyatt Regency Guam last night. This spectacular life-size gingerbread house is surrounded by a festive wonderland located in the hotel lobby. Guests enjoyed entertainment from the Guam Symphony, a variety of activities like face painting and coloring, and an appearance, of course, by Santa Claus. Guests were also able to purchase and personalize star-shaped cookies to add to the gingerbread house, with proceeds going towards Make-A-Wish Guam and Sinamai. The display will be open to the public until January 7th.
Yum.
Yummy.
And before we close out the news tonight, our latest round of birthday shout-outs from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club.
Happy birthday to everyone celebrating this December 5th, and happy belated birthday to Josephine Nederdog. Happy 53rd birthday to an amazing sister. May the good Lord continue to bless you on your special day. Love always, Antonia Nederdog and your siblings.
Remember, you can be a part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online on KUAM.com. Please make sure to include your photo, your name, and birthday.
And that's going to do it for us here on Primetime. Extra is next.
Closed captioning is brought